Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Surajo of Movie Musings, and today I will be reviewing Vanilla Sky, which was released December of 2001. It's directed by Cameron Crowe and is written by Alejandro Amenabar, Mateo Gil, and Cameron Crowe, starring Tom Cruise, Penelope Cruz, Kurt Russell, Jason Lee, Noah Tyler, and Cameron Diaz. The genre of movie, it's a psychological thriller. So the official synopsis goes, David Earns, played by Tom Cruise, has it all. Wealth, good looks, and a gorgeous woman, Cameron Diaz, whose name is Jillian, on his arm. But just when he's found true love with the warm-hearted Sophia, played by Penelope Cruz, his face is horribly disfigured in a car accident, and he loses everything. Or does he? Director James Cameron Crowe delivers a bizarre yet beautiful take on a love, beauty, and morality inspired by Alejandro Amenabar's Spanish-language film Open Your Eyes, starring Penelope Cruz. So I'm gonna go into the actor's performance. Overall, I think the movie was a really good movie. It's a mixture of science fiction and romance, and it's also like a psychological thriller. The thing is that initially, in the beginning, you see like a story that's unfolding, and then at some point along in the movie, you don't quite understand what's going on. You don't know if Tom Cruise's character is dreaming or actually living, and it gets a little bit confusing because you see people that he's familiar with, like Sophia, interchange between Julian and back and forth. One moment he's with Juliana, and then he turns his face, looks back at Juliana, and it's Sophia. So we're not really sure. Like as you're watching the movie, you're not really sure whether he's alive, whether he's in reality, or whether it's a dream. But you do know that there's a distinct difference between. There's a difference between the scenes or scenarios that are playing out. I think Tom Cruise gave a wonderful performance, as well as Penelope Cruz and Cameron Diaz. But obviously, the movie's based on the character that Tom Cruise plays, David Ames. And after seeing Inception, this movie is more easier to follow than Inception. It's somewhat similar to Inception, and like it's a psychological thriller. And you can't really discern at certain moments. You can't really discern whether it's a dream or it's reality. Just like Inception was. But then when I started to come towards the end of the movie, I started to see similarities between this movie and a movie that called The Game, starring Michael Douglas. Because in the movie called The Game, starring Michael Douglas, it was a big joke. They were playing a joke on Michael Douglas, and his identity was changed. He didn't know who he was and things like that. And this movie, Vanilla Sky, it's like at some point in the movie, he no longer has like the weight, the social status that he normally has. He kind of becomes like a little bit I wouldn't say disgruntled, but like out of it, and he thinks he's psychotic. And we don't know if he's dreaming or not until towards the end. I'm not going to ruin it for you because I do recommend that you check this movie out. It's not really that difficult to follow, but I don't want to ruin it for you. So I'm not going to tell you much more because the biggest part of the movie is, the revelation that you understand at the end. And if I tell you that, then, basically you can figure out the movie the moment you sit down. Overall, I would give this movie an A. I mean, it was a well thought out story. The performance was well, and I'd recommend it. If you want an interesting movie to watch on a Saturday night, maybe a Friday night, check out Vanilla Sky if you haven't already checked it out. Thank you for listening to us here at Movie Musings, and we look forward to your feedback and your comments. And again, we take requests. If there's a particular movie you're interested, you're curious, you're on the fence about, and you're not sure if you should watch it or purchase it, you can tell us, and we'll watch it on your behalf, review it on your behalf. And you'll make a decision based on what review we give you, whether you should watch the movie or not. So again, I'd like to thank you for listening to us here at Movie Musings, and please return. Bye bye.